For 6 years, I was stuck in a loop. I'd start building a game, get partway in, see something shinier, and restart. I'd play Skyrim and I'd want to make an RPG. Or I'd play Oxygen Not Included, and then I'd want to make a simulation game. And at the same time, I wanted to improve my programming skills. I wanted to close some gaps like assembly, SIMD, and multithreading. Rendering from scratch felt like something I should learn, and the idea of emulating a fantasy console that actually runs on 1990s speeds and developing games for that was pretty exciting to me. Dozens of abandoned games, hundreds of programming projects later, and I still had not shipped a game. People would comment, "Oh, he sells courses, but he hasn't made a game." And they weren't wrong. Teaching is different from shipping, but that gap still bothered me. So I asked myself, why haven't I actually made something? And that's when I did something different. I borrowed a tactic from content creation. When you're writing content, usually dump all your ideas into a big list so they stop rattling around in your head. And I did that with game ideas. I just started writing them down in this document. And then one day something clicked while I was looking at the list. Instead of picking one idea and then getting distracted by one of the other ones, I looked at the list and I thought, what if I combined them? So assembly language was something that kept coming up. I knew I wanted to do something in assembly, didn't know what it was. Software rendering kept coming up. That's where the fantasy console was kind of coming from as well, and fantasy consoles themselves kept coming up. Not like Pico 8, but something more like an emulator where you have constrained hardware and you have to actually optimize it from the start. So I thought, okay, what if I make a game that scratches all of these itches that I have at once? And that's how Lane 4 was born, the original version. So I started building it. And the original scope was much more bloated. And that's another problem I used to struggle with. In the original idea, you'd play as a programming contractor in the mid-1990s. And the idea was that people in the game would send you cartridges like to debug, and then you would have to like run their game cartridges in your fantasy console and then use the debugging tools and write. Originally, it was going to be a functional programming language, but then I changed it to assembly. And you'd have to like fix people's programs, and then that's how you progress the story. So I built out a lot of that. I built a 16-bit virtual machine with 4 cores. I built a display. I got partway into implementing SIMD instructions and fixed point math. And then I thought, okay, I probably have enough here to start making levels. And then when I thought about building levels, I realized, oh, I've got to build like PS1 or N64 era games, like vignettes of games for each level. And that would take maybe years if I wanted to have like 50 levels. So instead of just going forward with this, I decided to take a step back. And I looked at other games in the space. I looked at TIS 100, Shenzhen.io, and some other ones. And I noticed something. They weren't like full fantasy consoles. They didn't have these huge scopes that I was going for. They were focused, they were more constrained, and importantly, they were mostly microcontroller style programming. And so I just flipped the whole thing. 16-bit architecture, I threw it away, trimmed it down to 8-bit. Fixed point went away, my instructions became simpler. I threw away the display as well. I know that TIS 100 has a little display and Shenzhen.io has little screens and stuff. I think having a display would have pulled the game design into graphics puzzles where what I actually wanted to focus on was SIMD parallel programming. And so here's what I learned. The goal shouldn't be, or at least I don't think it should be, to build a perfect engine. The goal shouldn't be to build a perfect engine or to learn everything. Like, that's just never going to happen. So I think that the goal should be to get something to a playable state if you actually want to publish games, which I ostensibly have wanted to do since 2019. So you want to get something in front of people so they can play it. If you don't hit that milestone, you're going to restart before you validate any of your ideas. So if no one ever plays your game, they're not going to be able to tell you if it's good or bad, and you can't iterate. If you restart every time before getting to that stage, well, it's going to be a lot of wasted time. Now, 6 years is how long I spent doing that. So if you want to play Lane 4 yourself, I got a link in the description below. So if you actually want to make games and you have this shiny object syndrome problem, try writing down your ideas for a while, seeing if you can find common patterns that keep coming up, and then seeing if you can merge them into one cohesive idea that scratches these itches so you don't keep swapping between things. Also, if you get to a stage where your game is really bloated, just cut relentlessly. It actually felt really good to cut a lot of these big features into something more focused. That's all. Thank you.